Welcome to my channel. I hope today's story will be something you truly enjoy. Please support me even more. Now, let's begin the story.
My name is Ren Harper, 32 Senior Security Analyst at Vanguard Trust in Columbus. I was sealing the deal last slide-locked client leaning in when my phone triple buzzed. Priority alert, apartment camera, live feed popped. My brother stood at my safe sneer sharp. I see it all, the ring, the papers, the accounts in your name. Thanks, sis. He stuffed the diamond ring, the 401k papers, the encrypted USB into his gray hoodie pocket. Dad and Mom laughed, loud, sharp, triumphant, like he'd just hit the jackpot. I bolted mid-sentence. Excuse me. Out the glass door. One call. One breath. Game over. Like if your own blood ever gutted you, subscribe and drop your city below. That smirk wasn't new. Our house crouched on the outskirts of Dayton, Ohio, 2 stories of faded siding, a garage overflowing with forgotten tools, and half-empty paint cans, driveway webbed with cracks from endless freeze-thaw cycles. Dad Zachary Harper had retired from running the neighborhood hardware store, where he knew every customer's bolt size by heart. He now filled days sorting nails in the garage radio, blaring oldies, while he fixed neighbors' mowers for beer money. Mom Olive Harper disappeared most afternoons to the casino on the edge of town, chasing the rattle of coins from slot machines, convinced the next pull would cover rent. Xander was 28, jobless and permanently camped in the basement. He'd bleached his hair silver 6 months ago, insisting it screamed entrepreneur vibe for gigs that never called back. The basement stairs creaked under pizza boxes and gym bags. His domain smelled of cheap cologne masking weeks-old socks. He owned the main floor too, sprawled across the sectional, demanding Mom fetch snacks mid-game, treating the remote like a scepter. I was 12 when I poured every cent from neighborhood chores into red spray paint for my beat-up bike. It rusted in the garage corner, chain-seized pedals squeaking. I snuck out at dawn for weeks, degreased the frame, taped the spokes, layered coat after coat, until it shone like candy apple. Rolled it to the porch for Dad's approval, heart racing. Xander zoomed past on his board boot, clipping the stand. Bike toppled, wheel warping on concrete, paint flecks scattered. I knelt, tracing the dent. Dad peered from his newspaper. Ren, don't be petty. It's just a bike. Xander didn't mean it. Xander pocketed his phone. Get over it. I'll spot you a new one eventually. Mom flipped a page in her magazine. Accidents, honey. You're older, clear your junk next time. I wheeled the wreck inside, hid in the laundry room until dark. Lesson 1: fixes weren't for me. At 16, the kitchen became war zone, notes, plastered walls, timers for practice tests. Scholarship packets arrived. I aced the essays, nailed the interview. Pinned the letter to the fridge with a magnet shaped like Ohio. Mom glanced up from stirring soup. Cute. But Xander's the real gem. Schools chase kids with his charisma. Dad nodded over coffee. Truth. Ren's grades are fine, but Xander, he'll headline the family legacy. Xander muted the TV long enough to grin. Don't eclipse me, sis. I removed the letter that evening, slid it under textbooks. No one commented on the empty spot. Aunt Valerie, Dad's younger sister, lived a short drive away in a cottage with window boxes bursting color. She arrived at graduation clutching a bulky envelope, dress swirling like sunshine. Inside, $50 and her neat cursive. Proud of you, kid. Don't let them dim your light. I pressed it flat in my yearbook, a secret talisman. Affection was scarce currency. Dad clapped Xander after another close call application. Mom tucked bills into his wallet, murmuring Ren would just criticize. My freelance fixes kept utilities paid, but conversations skipped it. Xander left trails, missing remotes. Borrowed jackets, vanished vows, forgotten by lunch. I stopped offering, stopped anticipating balance. House code: Xander received passes. I absorbed hits. Val offset where possible. Picnic table, she'd slide me pie, whisper, "You're soaring, Ren." Eyes forward. Her praise landed pure, by college patterns solidified. Xander anchored mom's casino runs, dad's barbecues. I launched degrees stacking like shields. When you grow up with someone who breaks what you build, you learn to guard everything, even yourself. Work became my armor. I started coding after midnight dorm blinds cracked just enough for streetlight to spill across the keyboard. It wasn't for grades, it was survival. Always the one hit first, I decided to build walls no one could scale. Online boot camps fed the fire-free trials, then deep dives into encryption libraries. By midterms, I crafted firewalls that logged intruders before they typed a command. Defense turned instinct. Graduation funneled me to Vanguard Trust's internship in Columbus. The campus sprawled secure retina gates, chilled server halls, analysts rotating 12-hour shifts. I started on basic scans, packet captures, anomaly flags. 6 weeks deep reviewing a firmware rollout, I spotted callback strings masked in metadata, a backdoor funneling credentials to an offshore sink. I mirrored the traffic, triggered a controlled leak, proved escalation in under an hour. Leadership convened, the vendor patched overnight. My badge upgraded, full access, corner cubicle title bump to associate. Promotions accelerated. I led incident response drills, authored playbooks for ransomware containment, briefed boardrooms on emerging vectors. Raises stacked quarterly. No splurges, direct deposit to high yield, every cent tracked. 2 years back, I closed on the 12th floor condo in Cincinnati. Corner unit, riverfront glass curving South Ohio's current glinting below. Mornings delivered sunrise reflections, nights hushed traffic to white noise. Lobby doorman nodded hello, but I added layers, a closet safe with fingerprint scanner and 6-digit panel drilled into rebar. The spare key lapse hit a year ago. Chicago audit, 3 weeks of depositions, encrypted laptops, hotel firewalls. I audited myself. I handed Xander the duplicate at my doorstep. Water the succulent's forward mail if it stacks. He nodded, vanished inside. Homecoming showed tidy counters, healthy plants, key unspoken. Buried in reports, I let it slide. The code was sloppy sentiment. Punched 081520 for Rocky's hatch day, the shepherd mix who chased us through sprinklers. I'd mentioned it offhand at a backyard gathering. Xander banked it. The safe secured my core. Solitaire, diamond, flawless, laser-inscribed, forged from 5 years of maxed matches and performance shares. Appraised $300,000 fresh. Neat 401k binders, contribution timelines, growth projections annotated. The USB hardware encrypted, mirrored select compliance datasets, offline clones for forensic cross-checks, air-gapped always. Vanguard deepened my toolkit, deception servers, behavioral analytics, zero trust frameworks. I trained rookies on lateral movement, spoke at cons on supply chain risks. Cincinnati fit seamless trail runs along the levee micromarkets for essentials. Networks stayed work-bound, stand-ups, code reviews, encrypted channels. Isolation was design. No co-signed anything, no favors without receipts. Perimeters held. I took the southbound ramp off I-75, Cincinnati's towers fading into cornfields. 60 minutes of open asphalt ahead. Mom's Sunday BBQ attendance, mandatory excuses, void. I pulled into a gas station lot for store-bought potato salad to dodge the inevitable guilt trip. The Dayton cul-de-sac looked exactly the same, basketball hoop, netless, dad's pickup, rust-flecked mailbox overflowing with coupons. Charcoal smoke curled thick from the backyard, carrying onions and lighter fluid. I parked at the curb, grabbed the foil pan, and pushed through the side gate. Xander ambushed me by the cooler palm, slamming my shoulder. Thought the nerd job had you locked in a server room. His silver hair caught the string lights t-shirt advertising a band he'd never heard. The picnic table groaned under aluminum trays. Ribs glazed sticky coleslaw, sweating mayo corn ears blackened at the tips. Dad flipped burgers with veteran precision apron, reading BBQ King in faded letters. Mom arranged paper plates into perfect stacks, Bluetooth speaker crooning soft rock. We settled on splintered benches, plates balanced on knees. Dad scrolled his phone, zooming triumphant. Xander nailed the interview, downtown agency, real future. The photo, Xander in a wrinkled Oxford tie, loose eyes half closed against a lobby wall. Truth, he'd hit snooze until noon, thrown on clothes, and bailed after the receptionist handed him a clipboard. Mom glowed, pinching his cheek. Offer coming any day. Our golden child. Xander speared brisket sauce dripping chin, executive suite company card, the whole package. Talk spiraled to his plans, leased SUV, high-rise condo, Vegas weekends. I forked beans, offered grunts on cue. Mom turned, eyebrow arched. Still single with that computer job? Light delivery, heavy subtext. I shrugged. Projects don't swipe right. She pivoted back to Xander's plate, refilling without pause. He wiped his mouth, grin widening. When are you gifting me that 300 grand ring? I'll take it to Vegas and turn it into $1 million. Laughter exploded, hand slapping the table, soda fizzing over. Dad roared, belly shaking. Mom nodded, radiant. Xander deserves it. My 5-year grind mocked as pocket change. Fork down. Forgot something inside. I circled to the backyard shadows, phone dialed under the old oak. Aunt Valerie answered, warm. BBQ already toxic, auntie. I can't take it anymore. She didn't hesitate. Protect yourself, kid. Don't let them take everything. Her voice cut through the distant chatter, steadying the rage coiling in my chest. Dessert dragged with pie and small talk. I cleared plates, loaded the dishwasher, sidestepped Mom's hints about leftovers. Dad pressed bills into Xander's palm for commute gas. Xander sprawled on the couch, feet up, scrolling odds. Goodbyes were brisk, Mom's perfumed hug, Dad's wave. Xander's lazy salute. Engine on, windows down, Val's warning echoed with every mile back north. In the driveway, my phone felt heavy. I sat motionless behind the wheel, engine, dead keys biting into my palm. The cul-de-sac lay dim under orange streetlights, porch bulbs casting weak halos. My finger hovered over the screen, scrolling past names, heart rate steady but elevated. Aunt Valerie's words looped clear, don't let them take everything. It shifted from advice to command. I tapped Gilbert Voss, hit dial. He answered instantly. Voss. Internal data breach. Jewelry, 300 grand, retirement docs, encrypted backup, USB gone. Suspect Xander Harper, he has my spare key. Rapid keystrokes. Verification, certified ring appraisal, original 401k papers. Hardware encrypted, audit, clone, no live connection. Your coordinates, Dayton family residence. Apartment, Cincinnati. Security rolling with Cincinnati PD. ETA 18 minutes. Stay in your vehicle, no approach. Confirmed. Line dropped. Screen flashed a text from Ivy Chen, ex-colleague turned compliance lead. He bragged about borrowing it last month at the bar. Said you'd never notice. I'll testify. Memory surface team outing Xander, crashing, slurring about family discounts. I'd brushed it off as booze. Another ping. Aunt Valerie. I'm proud of you, kid. Do what's right. Short, unshakable. I locked the doors, reclined, the seed eyes fixed on the house. Kitchen lights spilled, silhouettes moving, oblivious. Breaths measured, assess, escalate, contain. Time stretched. I forwarded Ivy's text to Gilbert, witness statement, premeditation. Detached, documented. Neighbor's sprinkler hissed, alive. I mentally traced the breach, entry log, biometric denial, keypad success. Evidence airtight. Resolve hardened. Path chosen. Blue lights lit up the cul-de-sac. At exactly 9:30 p.m., my phone buzzed in the cup holder. Mom's name flashing red. I thumbed accept, engine idling low. Cops are here. Her scream shredded the quiet, raw panic laced with gasping sobs. They're cuffing Xander right now. Through the windshield, the scene unfolded in rhythmic flashes. 2 black Vanguard SUVs idled behind a Cincinnati PD cruiser, light bars, painting the asphalt in electric blue, red, blue. 4 silhouettes marched up the path, 2 company security in crisp navy polos, badges catching every strobe. Two uniformed officers' flashlights sweeping the lawn like searchlights. The front door flew open. Xander stumbled out in boxer briefs and a faded concert tee's silver hair wild from sleep. "This is a mistake, Xander Harper. You're coming with us for questioning." The taller cop's command cut through the night ironclad. Neighbors poured out in waves, Mr. Klein, in robe and slippers, the Patels on their porch, with phones, raised curtains twitching in every lit window. Blue-red pulses bounced off siding and glass, turning the sleepy street into a live crime feed. Dad stormed out behind shirt, untucked finger stabbing the air. He locked eyes on my headlights, roared into his own phone. "Ren, you're destroying this family." My reply came measured. "No, I'm just stopping the thief." End call. Xander twisted against the cuffed sneakers, scraping concrete, curses ricocheting off parked cars. Mom collapsed on the welcome mat, palms pressed to her face, shoulders heaving in silent wails. My line rang again, Aunt Valerie. I saw the lights from my porch. "You okay, kid? I'm here." I watched the cruiser swallow Xander, doors slamming shut. Stable. She stayed on, breathing steady while the convoy reversed, tires crunching loose gravel. The block quieted gradually, spectators retreating, porch lights dimming one by one. I stayed parked, mentally logging sequence: arrival, 21:30:12 detention, 21:31:45 departure, 21:33:08, chain unbroken. Val spoke soft. "You're not alone, kid." Siren stayed silent as they vanished around the corner. The house settled into darkness, one bulb flickering like defeat. 5 months later, the Hamilton County courtroom hummed with tension, every seat claimed by reporters, Vanguard staff, and locals drawn to the scandal. Dark wood walls swallowed whispers. The American flag hung limp in conditioned air. I occupied the front prosecution bench, charcoal suit tailored, sharp briefcase loaded with sealed evidence packets. The prosecutor cued the opening exhibit. The large screen flickered alive. Xander's smug grin dominated, solitaire diamond sparkling on his finger. Timestamp: 48 hours after the breach. Video selfie shaky but clear. "Big sis hookup," the caption screamed in white text. He panned the ring, slowly flashing teeth. "Easy come, easy pawn who needs a job." A collective inhale rippled the gallery. Defense counsel rose. Objection prejudicial. Sustained on tone, but video admitted. Xander shuffled to the stand in county orange cuffs. Removed hair buzzed, regulation short. He gripped the rail, voice pitched innocent. "I thought Ren was gifting it. We share everything in our family, always have." Prosecutor dismantled layer by layer. Bank records projected pawn ticket deposit matching exact appraisal value wired to an offshore sports book. Xander's excuses crumbled, sweat-beaded eyes flicked to exits. Ivy Chen testified next, composed in a slate pantsuit. "He scammed me $5,000 last spring." She presented printed chats, promises of crypto flips, urgent Venmo please, radio silence after transfer. Pattern of manipulation, classic con. Jury notes flew. I rose for my segment, heels clicking marble. "Your Honor, prosecution exhibit C, integrated surveillance. Dual feed synced lobby cam, showed Xander slipping past concierge at 02:17 a.m. Hoodie shadowing face, duplicate key, glinting. Safe interior lens thumbprint denied thrice, keypad accepting 081520, drawer sliding open. Ring documents USB lifted, methodically tucked into waistband. Exhibit D, access correspondence. Email thread enlarged, my out of office for Chicago audit, explicit request to Xander Plant's mail return key upon completion. Read, receipt, no response. Defense scrambled, claimed implied consent. Prosecutor countered with absence of gift documentation plus Ivy's prior fraud. Closing arguments sealed, premeditation, execution, cover-up. The judge peered over, Rim's voice resonant. On counts of aggravated fraud and elevated data breach risk, 7 years incarceration, full restitution, $650,000 payable immediately upon release. Gavel cracked like thunder. Dad folded forward in the back row, elbows on knees, face buried. Mom pressed a sodden handkerchief to her eyes, body folding inward. Bailiff secured Xander's wrists again, chains rattling as he descended. His final glance my way, resentment drained to resignation. I closed the briefcase lock, clicking shut. Verdict delivered. Harper Security Solutions occupied the third floor, downtown Cincinnati, glass doors, etched with the logo, 15 desks humming under LED panels. Analysts monitored dashboards. Engineers tested prototypes. I signed the lease, post-verdict channeled restitution into seed capital. Clients lined up, banks, startups, city contracts. Mail tray held one envelope, state penitentiary postmark. Xander's scrawl, inside. Sis, I'm sorry. Can you visit? I carried it to the fireplace, fed it to flames. Paper curled, black ashes scattering. Doorbell chimed. Aunt Valerie stepped in, coat dusted white. Look at you, kid. You built this. Arms wrapped tight, her scent of lavender grounding. I pulled back, smiled. Your push started it. She toured the space whiteboards, dense with threat models, server racks purring. Team greeted her. She beamed pride. Later, alone, I drove to Dayton one last time. Old house, empty for sale sign staked. I slid the new condo key into the kitchen drawer, metal on wood, final click. Ties severed. Family isn't blood. It's respect. I forgave to free myself, not to reopen the door.